Okay, let's call this meeting to order. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. McKenna,
Here.
Mrs. Ling,
Here.
Mr. Stepanovich,
Here.
Mr. Spadero,
Here.
Dr. Lee Corns, Mr. Dice,
Here.
Mr. Lemak,
Here.
Mayor Simon.
Here. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
See that right here? The man standing on the end there. You didn't look up there, did you? You're the only one on the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Nestica, do we have any unlisted amendments this evening?
We do not.
All right, thank you. That brings us to our consent calendar items. We just have the minutes tonight. Are there any questions or concerns about the minutes? Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve the consent calendar items.
Second motion.
Okay, Tony and Carl, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Comments by the mayor?
Thanks, Mr. Dice. See if we get them up here on the screen first, comments.
Oh, I apologize.
Okay, very good. First of all, if you've been riding around for the last year and a half or 2 years, you've seen license plates that look like this. You can't read them. So next Thursday, July 7th, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., an officer will be here at the police station to assist you in filling out Form MV44. This form will get you a new registration plate. And by new, it also means you're going to get a new number, just so you're aware of that, because you have that entered in a lot of different places. Once the form is filled out, you'll send it to the mail to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and they'll send you a replacement plate for free. The rules are for a registration plate is deemed illegible when one or more numbers or letters cannot be recognized from 50 feet, or if the registration plate shows any blistering, peeling, and or discoloration or loss of reflectivity. This event is for anyone with a Pennsylvania registration plate. You do not have to be a member of the community. Stop by after work on July 7th or during your travels. Hope to see you there. Next slide, please. National Night Out's coming up Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022 at 4 p.m., 4 to 7. It enhances the relationship between neighbors and law enforcement while bringing back a true sense of community. Furthermore, it provides a great opportunity to bring police and neighbors together under positive circumstances. Our Public Works Department, local fire department, and EMS will be there to meet the community as well. You can stop for dinner as well. We will have 4 food trucks there. Hot ash food truck, concession stand food truck, roll-up food truck, and sweets for the streets. We hope you can all make it out and enjoy quality time meeting the first responders in Murrysville. This is a very nice event. I've attended it, I think, every year since they started it. And it's real community-oriented. Lots of the kids are there, and it's a fun night. All about orders. PA State Game Warden Mike Papenchak and Murrysville volunteer Sue Miller will share details about these playful animals and will discuss our resident purple martins that migrate from Brazil. Sue Miller, Murrysville volunteer and passionate naturalist, is hosting All About Otters in collaboration with PA State Game Warden Mike Papenchak. Learn about these extremely curious and playful animals that are found throughout North America. Sue will also talk about the purple martins that nest at our wetlands. Registration is not required for this program. Drop-ins welcome. This is free. Saturday, July 9th, 9:30 at our Murrysville Community Park wetlands on Easter time. Again, no registration. Walk-ins are welcome. Next slide, please. This is being held at the library on Monday, July 25th, Growing Up Baseball in Pittsburgh. It's a 3-part series with the Heinz History Center. I understand it's very interesting. I haven't seen it, but I'd like to see it. This is part 2. Next slide is the Murrysville Farmers Market, as we mostly know by now, is Thursdays from 3 to 7 down at the grounds where the Murrysville Fire Station and Murrysville Medic 1 are. I understand it's been doing very well. And the last slide is just a reminder that our concert in the park is coming up Saturday, August 13th from 3 p.m. till dusk, when it includes fireworks, food, games, and live music. It's become a real nice event. We look forward to everyone being there. I have a couple of letters tonight. That concludes my report for the events, but I have a couple of letters I want entered into the minutes. One is addressed to me. Mayor, as you know from our previous discussions, my decision to resign as Chief Administrator of the municipality of Murrysville was a difficult one. Without a doubt, serving the elected officials and residents of this community has been the highlight of my professional career. Born and raised in the Mon Valley, I will always hold a special place in my heart for that area, but without any hesitation, I always remember Murrysville as my home. I would like to thank the many elected officials I had the opportunity to work with and believe together we have contributed to make Murrysville a great place to live, work, and play. The staff through the years has been a pleasure to work with, and I credit them for the many accomplishments we have achieved. I look forward to the new challenges life will present, and I am available to continue to serve my hometown. With gratitude, Jim. And I have a letter of response from myself. Dear Jim, I knew that your official resignation letter was due to arrive on my desk in recent days. However, now that I've received your letter, it surely brings me a number of mixed emotions. There is no doubt it brings me a level of reluctance to accept your resignation as Chief Administrator of Murrysville. As we all know, you have been planning for your upcoming retirement. You could have already retired from the municipality, but you have chosen to step into a slightly different role and remain with the municipality until the end of the year to guide our new Chief Administrator with your wealth of knowledge and experience. This commitment to Murrysville does not go unnoticed, and it continues to show your heartfelt dedication to our community. I'm also proud to state that your commitment and dedication over the years has made Murrysville one of the best communities in the state of Pennsylvania. Your leadership has allowed us to remain among the top local governments in the state. From our fantastic staff to the quality of services provided in this community, you have built a thriving operation, made a tremendous impact on our future, and leave us with large shoes to fill as we move forward in the coming years. Thank you, Jim, for your dedication and service to Murrysville. I have greatly enjoyed serving alongside you in the community. As you look forward to your coming retirement, I supportively accept your resignation as Chief Administrator. On behalf of the entire municipality, I sincerely wish you the best in the next chapter of life. Very truly yours, Mayor Mee. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. Yeah, mixed emotions as well. I don't know what to say. Mike, comments?
Just a few. I've been attending quite a few meetings with Mr. Morrison over the last month or so. A lot of developments that are going through the planning process, so they should be coming to council sometime in the fall. And I've been knee-deep in the ordinances, policies, code book, you name it, council meeting minutes, trying to get up to speed as well. So it's been consuming a lot of the time here over the last few weeks. So that's about it from the administrator's standpoint.
All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, that brings us to community input. Is there anyone on it? It's okay. For the good of the order, would anyone like to give public comment? Okay, we will move on to liaison comments and committee reports. Let's start with Matt.
The Parks and Recreation Committee meets this coming Tuesday, but I want to remind everyone that the concerts in the park, or concerts at Townsend, are Tuesday the 12th of July, Tuesday the 26th of July, August 9th, and August 23rd. So mark those on your calendar. That's the concerts at Townsend Park.
Awesome. Jamie?
The school board held a double meeting. School board held a double meeting on June 20th. There were really no outstanding items of interest for council other than the millage increase, which is going to, for an average size home, come to about $95.
Tony?
No meeting scheduled as yet for the medic one for this month.
Awesome. Clark?
Planning Commission meets next week, and later this month will be the Parks and Recreation Foundation.
Great. Jason?
The library meets in, the library meets in 2 weeks' time. I had a work conflict during the last meeting. However, there are some events the public may be interested in on the website. Sink or Float is this Thursday. Build your own boat, see if it sinks or floats, and registration is required. That's the main item I see on the website, but there's a whole schedule there for the month.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, that brings us.
Hey, Dane, what, when the mayor said about the National Night Out, where is that at?
At the Public Works Garage.
It is, it's at the Public Works Garage. Okay, I didn't see if that said that on
I
there.
did mention.
Yeah, that's what I was curious. Okay, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. That brings us to our workshop items, and we will begin with 9A, a discussion on the existing alcohol policy. Mr. Nestica?
Sure. This is an extension of the existing alcohol permit policies that are in place for the other park facilities. As you are aware, council last month adopted or approved alcohol permits for the clubhouse facility. So this policy is simply adding in the clubhouse to the existing permit policy. And we also, in speaking with Councilwoman Ling today, recognized that there was a slight adjustment necessary for some of the language relating to being over the age of 21 to acquire a permit. The way that it read in the documents that I'd sent over to council last week leading up to today, it said that you must be 21 or have a homeowner's policy. Internally, we discussed that and felt that it would make sense to simply state that you must be 21 and stop there. And then also you would either have a homeowner's policy or provide a release at the time of permit application. So essentially you must be 21 to get an alcohol permit here in the municipality. So that's what this policy is. It's just an extension of the prior one.
Okay. Awesome. Questions and concerns from council? Okay. Hearing none, I guess we can move on. We've all reviewed the policy, and I think it looks good. Okay, that brings us to our action items. Can I have a motion for 13A, please?
I'd like to make a motion to consider approval of the 2022 cost of living adjustment in the amount of 7.5% for eligible retired police officers.
Second.
Thanks, Jason and Tony. Mike?
Again, this is an item that is required by the police CBA. The amount this year, as determined by the CPI index, is 7.5%. Obviously, that's a substantial increase as compared to prior years, but that is the number that was determined by the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So it asks council to approve this, and then we will process all the documents related to the various retirees.
Obviously, that's a high number, but we just don't control that. So,
Right.
Questions or concerns?
I do have one question. Is there any concern about them reaching that 30% cap prematurely because of this essentially 3.5 times increase of the average?
Well, that could be a concern. One, we're obviously bound by the agreement, but I think if anything, it's just going to accelerate some of the retirees getting to that threshold sooner than others. This does cap out 3 of the, I believe, 9 existing retirees. Typically, when they're receiving, anywhere between 1.5% to 2.5%, it's certainly going to take longer. This is going to, again, speed that up. The pension fund is sound, so there aren't any immediate concerns. Certainly, long-term concerns are always being considered, but at this time, though, there's no immediate concern for the increase.
Okay, thank you.
Just as a question, Michael, like you mentioned the 3 of the 9, like if a current retiree has had COLA increases like to 26%, does that mean he cannot then get the 7.5, he can only get 4?
That's correct. The 30% is the cap. So you would be correct if they are anywhere above the 22.5% amount, then they would only receive a portion of this increase. So that language is in the CBA. And also, officers can't receive more than 75% of their salary determined at the time of retirement. So there are 2 different factors that could provide a barrier to them, increasing their retirement amount. But regards to your question, yes, if they're above 22.5%, then they would only receive a share of this.
I have another question building on that. The 6 that are remaining, how close are they to that 30% cap?
I can't say for sure. I do know that there are at least 3 of those that are in the drop program. So they would be at the very beginning stages. And just doing a look back today, I think many of the officers in there are in the earlier stages. So again, this will certainly accelerate that, but most of the officers, if I recall from memory, I believe going back in the 10-year window, there were only a few officers in the pension plan at that time. So most of the officers are newer to the plan.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. That brings us to 13B. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to consider appointment of Michael Nestico as the right-to-know officer for the municipality of Murrysville.
Second.
Thank you, Mac and Jamie. Mr. Nestico?
Again, this is just an administrative item, removing Mr. Morrison and putting myself in place to handle the right-to-know requests.
Okay. Questions or concerns? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you.
Right to know what?
That brings us to 13C. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to authorize to advertise fee ordinance number 1062-22, the fee ordinance chapter 112-6, and ordinance amending existing fee ordinance number 1049-21.
Second.
Thank you, Jamie and Carl. Mr. Nestico?
Yes, the amendment would only include essentially 2 items. So the existing fee ordinance would remain the same with the addition of fees for utilizing the Grove at the community park, as well as, again, the fees for obtaining an alcohol permit and renting out the clubhouse. So again, because that item was approved last month, we need to update the fee ordinance to reflect those fees. So this is just 2 items being added to the existing contract.
Okay. Question?
Just a question, where is the Grove? I mean, no, it's in the MCP, but where?
So in the entranceway, as you're working your way up, bear with me, I don't know all of the field numbers, but I think it's across from what would be maybe the first field there. On the left, there's an area of trees and some open space underneath those trees. The Public Works Department has placed, I would say, 8 picnic tables, I think is the number, in that area so that folks can kind of utilize that open space, and there's some shade relief, so you can have nice events there.
Is there any signage there that says this is the Grove?
I am not certain of that, and I don't believe so. Maybe that's something that we could look into as well.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns?
And the document, when I reviewed a document, Michael, is the changes were in red. Is that the only changes that were made?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any final thoughts? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to 13D. Can I have a motion, please?
Let's make a motion to consider authorizing the chief administrator to execute the agreement between Pugliano Construction and the municipality of Murrysville for the revised 2022 basin retrofit contract.
Second.
Oh, Tony and Jamie. Mike?
Yes, this is an item where we had previously executed agreement with Pugliano Construction. However, it appears that that agreement was signed through the engineering firm. We wanted to clean up the procedural side of things, the legal side of things, and revise the contract so that it's executed with the municipality of Murrysville, kind of eliminating the engineer from being in the middle of that agreement. So there are 2 remaining basins to complete work on. So we simply want to amend the agreement, pull the engineer out of the middle of that legal document, and then they're going to continue working on the 2 remaining aspects of the project.
Okay. Questions or concerns?
Mike, there were what, 4 total that were from the beginning?
3 total.
3. So
Yes.
there was the one on Lions Run, and then what are the other 2?
Settlers Ridge, and I'm drawing a blank on the third.
Ruby Court.
Ruby Court.
Okay, yeah.
The date for completion is August 31st. Is that expected to be completed by then?
It is, yes. The contractor, I believe they've even mobilized to the Settlers Ridge basin, and if they haven't, they plan on doing so sometime this week.
Okay. Any final thoughts? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. That brings us to engineering. Can I have a motion for 15A, please?
I'd like to make a motion to consider reducing the bond being held to ensure the completion of the required improvements at the Villa Ciano development in the amount of $640,865.16.
Second.
Thank you, Mac and Jamie. Mr. Nestico?
Yes, this item, the developer has completed a majority of the work necessitating the bond reduction. They'll have a total of just over $50,000 remaining. So I ask council to approve this item.
There's a question there. It indicates the developer is requesting a reduction of $640,000, et cetera. But the staff recommends a reduction of $382,266. So there's a difference there. And why is that? Are we not agreeing to lower it by 640 and only 382?
I'm seeing what you're referring to, and I'm just trying to recall specifically.
I think
dollar
that's
amount
the
is,
difference between the original bond amount of $1,037,674.96 and the requested reduction. And the remaining.
It may be even that it's a typo in the briefing, because I believe that the bond was already reduced by the $382,000. So I could be wrong by making that statement, but I think that that's the amount that's already been reduced. Now they're asking for the additional $640,000. I know ultimately the goal is to leave the bond amount remaining at the 50,000+ amount, because they are they've completed a majority of the project, I believe over 90%. So ultimately, this item would be providing the reduction, getting them down to the $50,000 amount.
Okay. So just to confirm, we do want to approve it as written, that we're going to go down from the 640 amount, correct?
I believe that's correct. If I'm not mistaken, there was a small amount reduced. I shouldn't say small, but there was a share around 30%. So that would make sense that it's the $382,000 figure that was initially reduced, and now we're asking for the $640,000.
Okay. Questions or concerns from council? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you. That brings us to 15B. Can I have a motion, please?
Consider authorization to advertise DPW 5-22, 2022, alternative road surface treatment project.
Thank you, Carl and Tony. Mr. Nestica?
Yes, we're asking council to authorize this item and begin the advertisement process, seek bids. This was included in the 22 capital improvement plan with an approved budget amount of $250,000.
Questions or concerns? No. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Nothing under Public Works and Parks. Does anyone have any old business this evening? Okay, new business? No executive session, no outstanding items. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Or adjourn.